Recreation. This is the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take away your stress. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. Post 2 out of Casper, Wyoming, and your Post 22 Hardhats set to do battle here tonight. Just one game tonight and a doubleheader tomorrow, morning, afternoon doubleheader at 11 and 1:30 tomorrow. So a 3-game set here in Rapid City between these two clubs, and the Post 22 Hardhats coming in at 18 and 10 this season. Winners of 9 out of their last 10 games, and that one blemish, of course, Mitchell in the Veterans Classic, where the Hardhats, frankly, were just overmatched in that one. But winners of 9 out of their last 10. Post 2, on the other hand, they're coming in at 10 and 9, and a bit short-handed here for this weekend set. According to their head coach, Kaden Hill, they had many players out and unable to travel due to ACT testing and the Wyoming football all-star game. So Casper a little bit short-handed here in Rapid City this weekend, but set to put up a battle with the Hardhats here as we get ready to get underway for game number 1. Today's starting lineups are built by Connect Home Center. Whether it's residential or commercial, Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumberyard since 1928. For the visiting Post 2 Oilers out of Casper, Wyoming, it's Thomas Strokes, the second baseman, who leads things off. Grant Nipper, the pitcher, bats second, followed by Kaden Wilcox, the shortstop. Third baseman Shane Taggart bats fourth. Eric Whitley bats fifth, and he plays center field. Connor Mclean bats sixth. He plays left field. Bryce Lackland, the first baseman, bats seventh, and Justin Licks bats eighth. Plays right field for Post 2. The catcher Ashton Armstrong bats ninth for Casper, and head coach Kaden Hill out of Casper, Wyoming. On the other side, the Post 22 Hardhats, they send Zeke Farley to the plate first, followed by Amarian Saylor. He's the second baseman here tonight. Hayden Hollick, the first baseman, bats third, followed by Harrison Cood in right field. Riker Henney, the designated hitter, bats fifth. Jake Solano does the catching. He bats sixth, followed by Dylan Marsh at the hot corner of third base in the seventh spot. Jed Jensen in left field batting eighth, and Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, bats ninth for head coach Kelvin Torvey and the Hardhats. Today's keys to the game are brought to you by Dakota Discount RV. Find the key to building lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. Take a look at their great selection of RVs at 2 locations. Dakota Discount RV is across from Cabela's and also on JB Road in Blackhawk. And key for game 1 is lone game here on this Friday night for the Hardhats and Oilers. For the Hardhats, it's to start off strong and put up numbers in multiple innings. The Hardhats have struggled a little bit in their most recent games, putting up runs in multiple innings. Of course, that 5 spot against Brookings held up in game 1 against Brookings, but they would like to avoid that and be a little bit more consistent with their scoring. We'll take a step aside and come back after tonight's national anthem here at the ballpark and be sent for baseball right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. This is the conclusion of the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body as the Hardhats take the field in their throwback blue uniforms. Of course, some different numbers on their backs, and then usually Hardhats fans see. Wyatt Anderson takes them out for the Hardhats. Dive into his numbers as we get going. Once again, Thomas Strokes will lead off for Casper. Hardhats in their throwback blue uniforms, white pants with a red stripe down their leg. Those blue tops feature Rapid City across the chest in white letters and long white pants. On the other side, Casper in orange uniforms with blue and white and orange stripes on the sleeves. White pants, no stripe down the leg for Casper. Long white pants to go along with those orange uniforms for the Oilers. Wyatt Anderson, the right-hander, and on the season for Wyatt this year, he has pitched in 27 1/3 innings. This is his 8th appearance and 6th start. He holds a 2-1 record, 21 hits, 16 runs, 10 earned runs, 34 strikeouts to just 18 walks. He has hit 5 batters, but a 2.56 ERA for Wyatt Anderson as the Hardhats defense comes around him for the ceremonial tap of the Hardhats around their starting pitcher. Everyone back to their respective positions, and the play ball signal and given by our home plate umpire, Yogi Milslegel, and our field umpire, John Whitcraft. First pitch, 7:33 local mountain time, and it misses down and away for ball 1. Anderson works solely out of the stretch on the far first base side and hits the zone right above the belt for a called strike 1. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Anderson's last outing was a good one. A game against Laramie in the Veterans Classic, the 1-1. Scooped as it bounced in front of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Anderson went a complete game, all 7 innings in that appearance. Swing and a miss on the 2-1. Even count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned run though. 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hit batters, an ERA of 1 against Laramie. Anderson set the 2-2, misses down and away, scooped by Solano. Payoff pitch coming to the right-handed leadoff batter, Thomas Strokes. Anderson set at his right ear, kicks and deals the payoff, down and away, ball 4. So a leadoff walk drawn by the Oilers and Thomas Strokes. A little bit short-handed Casper club. They come in playing in 19 games, hitting as a team 326, and ERA as a team of 5.39. Runner on first, nobody out, and that next pitch goes back to the backstop. Up to second goes Strokes. And Anderson looking at his landing spot after that pitch, knowing that he just kind of hooked it. Might have missed it. It's the pitcher, Grant Nipper, who steps in on the right side. A black shin guard on his front left foot, and he looks at ball 2 way outside, and now Solano asks for time and has a quick word with Wyatt Anderson. Defense behind Wyatt Anderson today. In the outfield, it's Jed Jensen in left field, Zeke Farley in center field, and Harrison Good in right field. Across the infield, Dylan Marsh at the hot corner, Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, Amarian Saylor, the second baseman, and Hayden Hollick at first base, with Jake Solano, the other half of the battery mate, doing the catching behind the plate for Wyatt Anderson on the mound. The 2-0 is a called strike on the outer edge. 2 balls and a strike. Anderson's set, runner at second, nobody out, scoreless top of the first, and the 2-1 bunt attempt popped up behind the plate and just over the netting and into the crowd. Luckily, the fans were ready for that one, and it hit right off their hands. And everyone looks to be all right. As it bounced all the way down to the first row. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Grant Nipper. That one lined foul right over my head. Look out. Nipper on the season batting .346, 18 hits in 52 at-bats. An OPS of 1052. Breaking ball just missed the inner edge on the 2-2. And now 3 balls and 2 strikes, another full count and a long at-bat by the Oilers. This is a team that does not strike out that often. Here's the payoff. Popped up, shallow outfield. It's the shortstop Wilson Kiefer behind second base. Overhead grab, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Big out number 1 as Nipper goes down. And now the Oilers shortstop, Kaden Wilcox. Bats third. Long blonde hair underneath the helmet for Wilcox, and 1 white batting glove on his bottom left hand. First pitch to Wilcox at the knees, called strike 1, no balls and a strike. The 0-1, Anderson double takes the second side, steps and delivers a breaking ball chopper to Marsh at third. Looks back, the runner fires across the diamond in time, out number 2. Third baseman number 1, Shane Taggart. Here's Shane Taggart. 2 outs, runner on second, still scoreless. Taggart stands straight up and now puts his front foot in front of it with his step and looks at ball 1 high. Before his step, he stands with his feet almost together. And he swings through the 1-0. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And a called strike 2 on the 1-1. Outside edge, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson looking to try and get out of the jam here in the first inning. Set, and the 1-2 down and away, snagged by Solano. So now a ball and 2 strikes to count. Anderson, a long look into Solano, comes set, a peek at second, double takes back there. Side steps and delivers, down and away, ball 3. Another full count pitch, 3 balls and 2 strikes coming up. Anderson set. And the payoff to Taggart. A bouncer past Anderson on the mound. Amarian Saylor fields and fires the Hollick in time, out number 3. So post 2 strands a base runner at second base, and we're scoreless after 1/2 inning of play. Back for the bottom of the first in the Hardhats. First cracks at the bat right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. Bottom of inning number 1, we're scoreless after 1/2 inning. And Casper into the field, Zeke Farley to the plate. Entire infield comes around their starting pitcher, Grant Nipper. Gives them some taps of the gloves before they take their respective positions. Nipper on the season, 6 2/3. This is his 4th appearance and 3rd start. An even record at 0-0. He winds, kicks, deals, and the first pitch to Zeke Farley, a strike across the belt called strike 1. 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 10 strikeouts and 9 walks, a 6.30 ERA for Nipper. The 0-1, down and away with a breaking ball. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Zeke Farley leads things off. The 1-1, swing and a miss on a high fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zeke batting .444 on the season, a 10.92 on base plus slugging. Nipper sets up right in the middle of the rubber, the 1-2, down and away. Through the wickets of the catcher Armstrong. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nipper into the wind once again. He kicks and deals the 2-2 high, ball 3. Payoff pitch coming to the leadoff man, Zeke Farley. Tap to the plate on the right side. He bends his knees, ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is, Nipper to Farley, and it's a chopper up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Wilcox. On the run, a high throw. It pulled the first baseman off the bag. That's Lackland, and Farley beat it out. So leadoff base runner reaches on the E6. And that'll bring up Amarian Saylor. Saylor bats from the right side. Farley aboard first, nobody out. Plenty of speed there. Nipper works from the stretch, right in the middle of the rubber. Sidesteps and delivers, and the first pitch swung on and missed by Amarian Saylor. Down in the count, he goes 0-1. Saylor batting .384. As Nipper checks on Farley, he's back in safely. And on base plus slugging, team leading 11-14 for Saylor. 0-1, high pop-up right side, foul territory, first baseman Lackland runs out of room. And down in the count, now Amarian Saylor, no balls and 2 strikes. Lots of hair on this Casper team. Long hair for the catcher Armstrong. Some flow for the pitcher Nipper. The 0-2. To Saylor, breaking ball, hard on grounder, passed off the glove of Shane Taggart at third, and into shallow left field foul territory. That'll be ruled a hit for Amarian Saylor, so it's first and second, still nobody out. Brings up Hayden Hollick. Now with Wyatt Anderson on the mound tonight, they do not have his bat in the 3 spot or in the lineup at all. So Hayden Hollick assumes the 3 spot. Harrison Good moving up a spot into the cleanup spot. 2 on, nobody out, scoreless bottom of the first. First pitch to Hollick, called strike 1, outer edge. Now ball's in a strike on Hollick. He's batting .354 on the year. The 0-1, swing and a miss, a heavy fastball from Nipper. Loses his hat on that pitch as he's up in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. So strong flow from the pitcher Nipper as well. The 0-2 to Hayden Hollick. Nipper kicks and deals, and it's a line drive off the netting right above the Casper dugout. No balls and 2 strikes, the count remains. Hollick an OPS of 957. As he bats from the right side. White batting gloves bouncing his gray and red bat off his shoulder, and a breaking ball called strike 3 on the outer edge. Backwards K is out number 1.
The number 14, Harrison Good.
And now Harrison Good. Very nice crowd on hand on a nice night for baseball on Pie Night. Giving away some deliciously looking pies. Farley takes off for third to throw down to third. Wild, and it goes into left field. Farley will stay put at third. He couldn't get up fast enough. Saylor goes to second on the double steal. It'll just be a stolen base, no error on the catcher. So second and third, 2 ducks on the pond for Harrison Good, 1 gone. A situation that the Hardhats would love to capitalize on with runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs. The 0-1 outside. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison Good just over 300 on the season at 301 his average. The 1-1 misses well upstairs. Fastball that time from Nipper. 2 balls and a strike. Harrison, 25 hits and 83 at-bats. Very energetic and vocal player for the Hardhats. The 2-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Got out in front of that one. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very nice night for baseball. No wind and currently 83 degrees. Good lines one just foul, about 5 feet foul down the right field line. Looked to be out in front of that one, just stuck the bat head out in front and tried to get any part of it to spoil it away. And just about got base knockout of it. The 2-2. Chopper right past Coach Torvey up the third base line. Foul. Good stays alive. Still scoreless, bottom of the first. Hardhats threatening in their first opportunity at the plate. Second and third, 1 out. Another 2-2. Outside and out 3-2. Nipper to Good. Harrison Good batting just about 400 on balls put in play. Deep breath and the payoff. Down and away, ball 4. Bases loaded for Riker Henny. Riker Henny will step in on the right side. Bases full of blue Hardhat jerseys. Tap to the plate on that right side for Riker. Still just the 1 out. First pitch to Henny. A strike calling at the knees, outer edge, 0-1. Riker Henny batting .315 this season. A couple of big hits in his first year as a Hardhat last year. Deep breath and the 0-1 from Nipper. Down and away, blocked by Armstrong. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a walk-off home run against post 320 here at the Fitz, Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. And also had a walk-off against Harrisburg in the state tournament. Bouncer to third. And throw coming to the plate. They get the force out at the plate. Henny's to first on the fielder's choice, so we're still scoreless. Everyone up to 90 feet minus Farley. So that's out number 2. Still bases loaded, and now Jake Solano. Solano steps in on the right side. The catcher for the Hardhats batting right at 200. And the first pitch to Solano, outside, ball 1. Solano gets a hit about a third of the time when he puts the ball in play. 333 is average in that category. The 1-0 breaking ball down and away. Now 2 balls and no strikes. A very similar sequence for Nipper on the mound. Fastball, breaking ball. See if he goes back to the fastball here on the 2-0. 2-0, it is a fastball, chopped to third. The throw across the diamond and scooped on the back end. Taggart to Lackland. And the Hardhats failed to score in the first inning, stranding the bases loaded, so we're scoreless after 1. Back in a moment, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. We're to the top of inning number 2, scoreless after 1 inning of play. Casper stranded a base runner at second base after a leadoff walk. Anderson able to get out of the jam. He's back to the hill here. The Hardhats stranded the bases loaded and play at the plate to get the force out with the bases loaded helped in that sense. Nice throw from Taggart, the third baseman. Eric Whitley, the center fielder, will lead things off for Casper. Tap to the plate on the right side as Anderson looks in. Set, kicks, and deals. The first pitch to Whitley. Right across the belt, inside edge, called strike 1. Eric Whitley on the season batting .353. This one a little blooper. Foul territory, right side. Hayden Hollick makes a grab. 2 steps into foul territory for out number 1. Here's Carter Mclean, left fielder for Casper. Another right-handed bat. Closed off, stands on the right side, and he scores the bunt, pulls back on a high fastball, ball 1. Mclean, a .273 average. He squares the bunt, pops it foul right off the netting behind the plate. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. OPS of 839 for Mclean. 3 hits and 11 at-bats. And he looks at ball 2 outside. He's only played in 8 of the 19 games Casper has played. 2-1, swing and a miss. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out, nobody on. And now the Hardhats putting a shift to the opposite field side of Mclean, and he looks at a called strike 3. Backwards K in the book. Strikeout number 1 for Wyatt Anderson. It's out number 2 here in the second. Kiefer went almost behind the second base bag with Sailor in shallow right field. Here's Bryce Lackland, first baseman, bats from the right side. And the first pitch, breaking ball down and away, ball 1. Lackland with a black shin protector on his front left foot. Taps that front foot before the pitch comes in. And looks at a called strike 1. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Lackland looks at called strike 2 right across the belt. 286 average for Lackland. 10 hits in 35 at-bats. The 1-2. Breaking ball popped up, foul. And if the awning wasn't there, just would have had a play on it. And a swing and a miss by Lackland. He goes down swinging for out number 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wyatt Anderson. And that's the end of the top of the second. We head to the bottom half after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Dylan Marsh to lead off the bottom of the second for the Hardhats. Followed by Judd Jensen and Wilson Kiefer, the bottom third of the Hardhats lineup against Grant Nipper. Scoreless after 1.5, and Marsh looks at a high fastball called ball 1. Dylan Marsh bats from the right side. And in 11 games this season has 7 hits, all singles, and make it 8 hits, all singles, as he pokes one through the left side of the infield. A seeing eye single for the second hit of the ball game, and a leadoff base runner for the Hardhats for the second inning in a row. Now Judd Jensen. Judd Jensen, 4 hits and 20 at-bats. Even 200 average. He bats from the right side, squares the bunt, pulls back, and the fastball misses high, ball 1. Marsh aboard first, nobody out. Hardhats stranded the bases full in the first inning. Trying to break our scoreless tie here in the second. Nipper comes set at the chest. Kicks and deals. Marsh takes off for second, and a perfect pitch to run on, as it was a breaking ball in the turf, blocked by Armstrong. And Marsh is into second, standing up without a throw. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on Jed Jensen. Another deep breath from Nipper, a peek at second, kicks and deals, and this one popped up right side out of play. Two balls and a strike. Jensen, white batting gloves and a red bat on the right side. Open stance, the 2-1. Fastball right across the belt. Inner edge. Even count, 2-2. 9 bat of Wilson Kiefer on deck. Nipper rests his glove hand on his left hip. Comes set, and the 2-2. Down and away. Blocked by Armstrong, and now 3-2. Nipper up over 30 pitches through an inning plus. This will be pitch number 35 on his night. And the payoff to Jensen, downstairs, blocked by Armstrong, and that's ball 4. So a single and a walk puts runners on first and second, nobody out. Similar situation to what the Hardhats had in the first frame. Only that one was an error that Farley reached on, and a single that Saylor reached on. Here's the aforementioned Wilson Kiefer. Steps in on the right side. 2 on, nobody out. Nipper, a peek at second. Kiefer squares early to bunt, pulls back, and the ball misses well in the turf as Marsh slides in feet first to third. Very high throw from Armstrong, and it looked like the throw beat Marsh. Had it been a little bit lower, third baseman Taggart had to leap high into the air. To get that throw down. The 1-0, downstairs, blocked as that ball ended up in front of the plate as well. Armstrong having to work early with the pitcher Nipper, and he wants to have a conversation with him on the mound. Set the defense for the Casper Oilers. It's Carter Mclean in left field, Eric Whitley in center field, Justin Licks, the right fielder. At the hot corner of third base, Shane Taggart, Kaden Wilcox, the shortstop, Thomas Strokes, the second baseman, and Bryce Laughlin, the first baseman. Ashton Armstrong doing the catching. The 2-0 to Kiefer. Popped up right side out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the order on deck for the Hardhats in Zeke Farley. Nipper set at the belt. A deep breath, kicks and deals a 2-1 outside. 3 balls and a strike. First base is open. They bring up the top of the order. Still nobody out. We're scoreless in the bottom of the second. Hardhats threatening once again against Nipper. The 3-1. Popped up foul beyond the plate, out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kiefer. Wilson Kiefer on the season, 16 hits and 58 at-bats. 7 singles, 8 doubles, and a triple for Wilson. The payoff, Nipper to Kiefer. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Kiefer went chasing. And the strikeout is out number 1 in the bottom of the second. Second strikeout for Grant Nipper. Top of the order now, still 2 ducks on the pond, and Zeke Farley at the plate. 1 out, and the first pitch to Farley popped up foul out of play behind the plate. No balls and a strike. Farley bounced to short his first time, but reached because of a throwing error by that shortstop in Wilcox. The 0-1, breaking ball down and away. Nice snag by Armstrong. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 on, 1 out. The 1-1 is called strike 2 at the way bottom of the zone. Ball and 2 strikes now on Farley. Nipper looks into Armstrong. He flashes a sign, puts the target where he wants it. And the 1-2. Downstairs, even count, 2-2. Of course, all this week, the news stations here around the Black Hills reminiscing memories of survivors from the 1972 flood. As Nipper misses down and away, another breaking ball, and it's blocked by Armstrong. 3-2. Another payoff pitch, Nipper to Farley. It was 50 years ago last night, today, in 1972, that all that rain came. Farley swings through the payoff pitch to go down swinging, out number 2. So still 2 men in scoring position and 2 gone. That year was the only year since Post 22 started that there was no baseball because of the flood. No balls and a strike. Special thanks to Chris Stover for that information. The 0-1 misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nipper approaching 50 pitches now. This will be pitch number 50. 2 in scoring position, 2 gone. Scoreless bottom of the second. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss. Now 1-2 on Saylor. A single and a stolen base in the first inning. Second at bat in as many innings. Nipper set. The 1-2 popped up right side, out of play. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Hardhats. No runs, no hits, and an error for Casper. Another 1-2 coming to Amorian Saylor. Deep breath, and the 1-2. Bounced straight back, high off the netting, and it ended up in the crowd. Just deflected high off that netting. Saylor with the shorter width stance with the 2 strikes. Nipper set once again. And another 1-2. High, 2-2. Hayden Hollick stands on deck. Should Amarian Saylor reach? 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 in scoring position, and 2 gone. The 2-2. High, ball 3. Another fastball from Nipper. And long at-bats here in this ball game from both sides, making Wyatt Anderson of the Hardhats work and Grant Nipper of the Oilers work very hard to get outs. Here's the payoff. Fly ball, right center field. Right fielder Justin Licks, he's underneath of it, and he puts a squeeze on it for out number 3. Hardhats strand another couple in scoring position, and we're scoreless after 2. Back for inning number 3 after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Scoreless after 2. And Wyatt Anderson back to the hill for the Hardhats. Quick visit with Jake Solano before 8-9-1 of the Casper Post 2 Oilers. Will come to the plate against Anderson. Eight bat of Justin Licks, the right fielder, steps in. He bats from the right side, all black batting gloves, black and silver bat, and he fouls away the first pitch straight back to the screen. 0-1. Justin Licks on the season, played in 12 games, 9 hits and 25 at-bats. Good enough for a .360 average, and looks at a called strike 2 at the knees from Anderson. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Waves the bat head out in front, and out comes sent as Anderson does. And the 0-2 misses outside and down. A ball and 2 strikes now. And the Hardhats shift their outfield with a big gap in left center. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Back-to-back-to-back strikeouts by Wyatt Anderson, going back to the second inning. 3rd overall, and it's out number 1 here in the 3rd. Now the catcher, Ashton Armstrong. An all right-handed lineup for Casper. And the first pitch misses a little bit upstairs for ball 1. Gray batting gloves for Armstrong, a gray bat. The 1-0 downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Ashton Armstrong, 16 hits and 49 at-bats. Batting .327, and he looks at a called strike, this time a fastball across the belt. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 2-1. This is low. Solano trying to with the frame job. Didn't get the call. 3 balls and a strike now. Here it is from Anderson, and it misses high, ball 4. So Armstrong on with a 1-out walk. Brings up the top of the post 2 lineup in Thomas Strokes. Signs relayed down third base line by head coach Caitlin Hill. Runner on first, one gone. Anderson set. The sidestep and he deals and he misses down and away, ball one. Strokes drew a walk in his first at bat. That was the lead off the ball game. Ended up being stranded at second base in that first inning. 1-0, popped up, foul territory, right side. Going to be a long run for everyone. Here comes Harrison Good, and he can't make him play. Hayden Hollick was holding on the base runner, so he had a long run, as well as Amarian Saylor, the second baseman. So just a perfectly placed little bloop foul ball. One ball, one strike on Strokes. Two taps of the plate on the right side, a black and white bat for Strokes. The 1-1. Scoop by Solano beyond the plate to throw down, not in time. Armstrong dives in safely with a stolen base. Very good jump from Armstrong. So runner in scoring position now. 2 balls and a strike the count. And Anderson steps off the rubber. You look at the signs. 2-1, well outside and back to the backstop. Up to third now goes Armstrong on the wild pitch. Three balls and a strike now. Anderson, a deep breath of 3-1. Strike two right above the knees. 3-2. Anderson approaching 50 pitches. This will be pitch number 47. Here it is, the payoff. Bouncer, slow roller back to Anderson. He fires to the plate. The tag by Solano in far onto the plate. And Armstrong is out at the plate for out number 2. Strokes reaches on the fielder's choice. Armstrong left on contact, even with 1 out. And Anderson fielding his position. Kind of surprised that the runner at third took off. I was even surprised by that. First pitch, ball 1, a breaking ball down and away. So runner at first, 2 gone, scoreless, top of the third. The 1-1, or 1-0 will have to wait as Anderson fires at first to check on Strokes. Now the 1-1, or 1-0 rather, from Anderson. And it's scoop behind the plate. Back pick throw by Solano. And Hollick tried to swipe the tag, not in time. Solano up out of his crouch. A backhanded pick to snag that ball. Something that's not easy to do. A 2-0 found away right side out of play. Good gave chase, but he ran out of room. So 2 balls and a strike, the count on the pitcher Nipper, batting for himself. Popped out behind second base to the shortstop Kiefer his first time. The 2-1 outside, 3 balls and a strike. And Anderson still trying to stretch himself out. Throwing his 52nd pitch. Fires the first and back standing up is Strokes. No wind to speak of here in Rapid City. It feels like 84. It says the temperature's 81. 3-1 popped up, shallow right field, long run for Harrison Good. He runs underneath of it with a slide, and he makes the grab out number 3. Nice play by Harrison Good in right field, a long run, and he makes the grab for the 3rd out. Oilers strand a base runner, and the play at the plane helped out as well for the Hardhats. We're scoreless after 2.5. To the bottom of the 3rd we go after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
To the bottom of inning number 3, and we're still scoreless. Hayden Hollick, Harrison Good, and Riker Henny, 3, 4, and 5 of the Hardhats lineup. Due up against Nipper. Leadoff man, Hayden Hollick, and it looks at a first pitch fastball high, ball 1. And ball 2 misses down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Hayden Hollick struck out looking on a nice breaking ball, and that caught the outer half back in the 1st inning. The 2-0, bouncer right side, second baseman Thomas Strokes fires the first in time, out number 1.
The batter number 14, Harrison Good.
Now Harrison Good will bat from the right side. Good drill walk his first time. Stands ready in the right-hand side. First pitch popped up, shallow outfield. Strokes goes out. He's underneath of it, calls everyone off, and puts a squeeze on it for out number 2. Good's gone on 1 pitch.
The DH number 25, Riker Henny.
And now Riker Henny. Henny bats from the right side into the line. Nipper goes, and the first pitch breaking ball misses a touch high for ball 1. Riker Henny reached on a fielder's choice. The play at the plate his first time. The 1-0 becomes 2 balls and no strikes. A fastball this time upstairs. Nipper winds, kicks, deals, and the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Henny down to a knee that time to try and make contact with that one. 2 taps of the plate. Waves the bat head out in front, and the 2-1 line from Nipper. Strike 2 caught on the outer half. 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 gone. And the 2-2. High with a fastball. Nipper lost his hat. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Put a little extra gas behind that one. And on the explosion lost his hand. Here's the payoff to Henny. Swing and a miss. Henny out in front of that one, and he goes down swinging out number 3. After 3, we're scoreless. To the 4th we go after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Straight zeros on the board for both sides in the runs column. Just 2 hits to speak of, both for the Hardhats, and 1 error on the board. It's in Casper's column. Wyatt Anderson back to the mound, his 4th inning of work. And he faces 3, 4, and 5. With Kaden Wilcox, the shortstop, leading things off, and Anderson hits the zone right above the knees with a fastball for a called strike 1. Wilcox bounced to 3rd his first time. The 0-1 misses downstairs, even count 1 ball and 1 strike. Marsh made the play there. Anderson approaching 60 pitches. The 1-1 scooped behind the plate, even count moves to 2-1. Stadium lights in full effect here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark, and the 2-1 is a strike call right above the knees once again, even count 2-2. Wilcox, Taggart, and Whitley, the 3 scheduled. 2-2. Down and away, now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson toes the rubber and twirls the baseball behind his back. The payoff pitch. Popped up right side, a long run for Harrison, good in foul territory, and he makes the grab as he crashes into the fence by the Casper bullpen. Nice play by Harrison, good for out number 1. And all Kaden Wilcox can do is tip his helmet. Shane Taggart, the new batter. 1 out, nobody on. Anderson kicks and deals, and the first pitch, a fly ball right center field, long run for Farley, and good, and Farley lays out, can't get there, backed up on the play by Good. He fires to second, not in time. And it's a leadoff, or a 1-out double rather for Shane Taggart, and that's the first hit of the ball game for the Oilers at all. Very nice effort by Zeke Farley. He laid out flat for that ball, ended up on his stomach. Walks back to his center field position. And Anderson steps off the rubber once again. Eric Whitley, the new bat. Anderson a peek at second, side steps and delivers. And it's a ball on the turf, blocked by Solano, but it rolls to his right. And up to third goes Taggart. So a big threat for Casper here. Man standing 90 feet away and just one out. Scoreless top of the fourth. Eric Whitley is 0 for 1. He popped out to Hollick his first trip, and that one goes back to the backstop. Solano flips to the plate, but not in time. The wild pitch scores the opening run of this contest. So a double and then back-to-back wild pitches. And it's 1-0 Casper. So nobody on now, one out, 1-0 Oilers. The 2-0. Strike at the knees, 2 balls and a strike. Whitley on the season batting .353. 2-1 becomes 3 balls and a strike now as Anderson misses well upstairs. The 3-1. At the knees, outer edge, called strike 2. Close pitch. Anderson got the call, along with Solano with his frame job. Here's the payoff. Inside edge, called strike 3. And a backwards K is out number 2. Fourth strikeout for Wyatt Anderson. Here's Carter Mclean. Mclean looks at ball 1 outside from Anderson. Struck out looking his first time. That came to lead off, or with 1 out rather, in the second. Looks at a called strike 1 at the knees. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. These two teams play once again tomorrow, a doubleheader. And a called strike 2 right below the belt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. First pitch of game 1 tomorrow at 11 a.m. and then 1:30 for game 2. 1-2 misses in front of the plate, back to the backstop. 2s across the board, nobody on. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Anderson kicks and deals the 2-2 swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 4th. By Casper on the board first, a double, and then back-to-back wild pitches allows Casper on the board first. And the Oilers lead 1-0 as the Hardhats come to bat in their half of the 4th right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. 1-0. The Casper Post 2 Oilers lead. Over here, Post 22 Hardhats. Grant Nipper into the windup, and Jake Solano swings through the first pitch to go down in the count 0-1. Solano, Marsh, and Jensen, the 3 scheduled for the Hardhats 4th. Solano bunts one, a perfectly placed bunt. Taggart fields with the glove, fires to first and not in time. Solano beats out the infield bunt single. Very nice bunt to catch everyone off guard. Taggart had to come in a long ways to get that one. So Solano is 1 for 2. Here's Dylan Marsh. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Single through the left side of the infield. Runner on first, nobody out. 1-0 Casper, and Marsh looks that ball, one upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Nipper comes set at the chest, and pickoff move over to first. Solano back easily. Nipper set once again, and the 1-0. Bouncer left side, shortstop fires the second for 1 over to first. Marsh beats out the double play, so he reaches on what will be scored a fielder's choice. Solano out at second. Wilcox to Strokes. Now Judge Jensen. Jensen bats from the right side, runner on first, 1 gone, that's Marsh. And Jensen looks at ball 1 low and away. Breaking ball that time. Hardhats with 3 hits in this ball game, but no runs to show for it. A check on the runner at first, closer play than the last couple. Marsh back in safely. Nipper comes set at the chest. Long pause, kicks and deals. Marsh takes off for second, and once again, in standing up, chooses the perfect pitch to run on. Another breaking ball in the turf. Had to be blocked by Armstrong. Easily into second with a stolen base for Marsh. Runner in scoring position, the tying run for the Hardhats. 2 balls, no strikes on Jensen. The 2-0. Swing and a miss out in front of the fastball. 2 balls and a strike. When the Hardhats fail to score first, they are 3-8 this season. When they score the first run, they're 15-2. 2-1 from Nipper. Popped up, shallow outfield, long run for the second baseman Strokes. It's the right fielder Justin Licks who puts a squeeze on it for out number 2. The throw into second goes wild. Marsh thought about trying for third. Held up. Fly to right is out number 2. Runner on second remains. Now with 2 outs. Wilson Kiefer at the plate. First pitch to Kiefer, a fly ball to right field. Back is the right fielder, still roaming back, and he can't get there. At 2 bounces the ball. Marsh will score easily. Kiefer rounds second. He heads for third. The throw is cut off. It goes to third, and Kiefer stumbles and dives into third with a 2-out RBI triple. Just like that, the Hardhats tie things up. It's 1-1. And the top of the order on deck. Justin Licks was burned on that ball, twisting and turning, and then sprinting towards the wall. As Wilson Kiefer went opposite field. Here's Zeke Farley, 2 outs. Go ahead run now 90 feet away. And Farley looks at a called strike, 1 out Rich. Nipper set. He stares down Kiefer at third. Kicks and deals the 0-1. Breaking ball down and away. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Benchmark for the Hardhats has been scoring in at least 3 innings this season. Fly ball right side out of play. And they score in at least 3 innings. They're 10-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The count on Zeke Farley, and it's popped up right side out of play. Farley stays alive. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Reached base on an error. Start off the bottom of the first. Struck out in the second. Hardhats this season, when facing a right-handed pitcher, 15-9. 1-2, skips behind the plate, blocked by Armstrong, and even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on third and 2 gone. Farley ready, Nipper comes set. A deep breath once again, and the 2-2. Downstairs, blocked by Armstrong. 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Nipper to Zeke Farley. The payoff. Down and away, ball 4. Farley draws a walk. Put runners on the corners and bring up Amarian Saylor. Still 2 men out, tied at 1. And Nipper now over 80 pitches. That was his 81st. Saylor steps in on the right side. He's 1 for 2. A single and a fly to right. First pitch to Saylor, downstairs, ball 1. Farley dives into second base with a stolen base. No throw. So 2 men in scoring position now, once again for the Hardhats. They've stranded lots of runners in scoring position tonight. The 1-0, strike across the belt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nice straight fastball from Nipper. Hardhats winners of 9 of their last 10 games. The 1-1 misses up and away. 2 balls and a strike. Nine and 4 in what are considered night games. A 2-1, down and away. Cross-body reach from Armstrong. Boy, he's been busy behind the plate tonight. 3 balls and a strike on Amarian Saylor. First base is open. A hitter-friendly count. Hayden Hollick on deck. Nipper kicks and deals the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. It's back-to-back walks after the RBI triple. Base is full of Hardhats, 2 gone. The aforementioned Hayden Hollick coming to the plate. Coach out of the dugout for Casper. That's Coach Armstrong out of the dugout. Brings the entire infield for the Oilers around him, along with the pitcher Nipper and the catcher Armstrong. Here's the situation, folks. 2 outs, tied at 1. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Both teams with their opening runs of this ball game here in this 4th inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for Casper. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for both 22. This is the opening game of a 3-game set here this weekend. 1 tonight, 2 tomorrow at 11 and 1:30. Nice night for pie night at the ballpark. Tomorrow, bagels at the ballpark. First pitch to Hayden Hollick, swung on and fouled straight back to the screen. 0-1. They've been reading off numbers every single inning about giving away about 5 pies per half inning. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And disappointed to say I have not won a pie yet. Bases full. And the 1-1 to Hollick. High with a fastball, 2 balls and a strike. The graphic said to bring your own fork. I did just that. Actually, I brought 2 of them. 1 for each hand. I do like my pie. The 2-1. Misses high and away. 3 balls and a strike. I might have to have a talk with our public address announcer, Mr. Scotty J, if he does not read my number off. The 3-1 to Hayden Hollick. High ball 4. It's a bases loaded walk to give the Hardhats the 2-1 lead. 3 straight walks after the triple. RBI for Hayden Hollick. Kiefer scores after that triple. Finally, he scores. It's all coming with 2 outs. Farley the third, Saylor aboard second, and Hollick off of first. Here's Harrison Good. And the first pitch misses high for ball 1. The 1-0 to Harrison Good. It's a called strike on the outer edge. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Line drive high and deep to left field. Back is the left fielder, but right into his glove. Carter Mclean read that one well. And Harrison Good just missed extra bases. The Hardhats take the lead 2-1 after 4. And we head to the 5th after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Top of inning number 5, 2-1 our score on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. And first pitch has to wait as Lachlan asks for time. First pitch misses inside a fastball. Lachlan bends out of the way of that one. 1 ball, no strikes. Wyatt Anderson back to the mound for the Hardhats. The 1-0. Breaking ball swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1 our score in favor of the Hardhats. All 3 runs in this ball game coming in the 4th inning. And Anderson misses downstairs for ball 3. Actually, ball 2. The 2-1. Line drive. Tried to scoop it. Dylan Marsh with the dive. And cut off in left field by Jed Jensen. A strong throw into second base. But it's a leadoff single for Bryce Lachlan. Tying run on base for Casper. Justin Licks, the new batter, struck out against Anderson his first time up. 2 taps of the plate on the right side. Anderson ready. And the first pitch to Licks misses down and away. Ball 1. Anderson, that was his 76th pitch of the night. No one warming just yet for the Hardhats. Pickoff move over to first, not in time. Just a second hit, that single for Lachlan off of Anderson. A 1-0, a strike with a fastball. Called right above the knees. Big gap in the right center field alley. As Gooden shades more towards the line. He scores the bunt, pulls back. The runner takes off for second. The throw is low and it skips into center field. Kiefer was kind of taken out at second base. He looks to be all right. Lachlan in with, he scored a stolen base. Lick scored the bunt and pulled back. Maybe a cross up of the signs between the batter and runner. The 2-1. Squares the bunt, pulls back, and it's 3 balls and a strike as a miss down and away. Anderson having to work hard tonight. Struggling to find the strike zone. The 3-1. Strike right below the belt. 3-2. Payoff pitch. Wyatt Anderson to Justin Licks. Peek at second, kicks and deals the payoff. Inside edge called strike 3. And the backwards K sits down Licks. 6th strikeout for Wyatt Anderson, and it's out number 1. Here's Ashton Armstrong, runner on second. That's the tying run. Go ahead run at the plate in Armstrong. 1 out. 2-1 our score in favor of Rapid City. First pitch misses high for ball 1 from Anderson. That was pitch number 81 from Anderson. Set in the 1-ball pitch, misses down and away. Blocked by Solano, the throw down to third, tagged out at third by Marsh. And a nice throw by Jake Solano down to Dylan Marsh. Caught stealing Bryce Lachlan. That ball Just popped out of the glove of Solano, but the throw right on target. It beat Mclean by about 5 steps. And Marsh just sitting there waiting to put the tag on. A 2-0 called strike 1 on Armstrong. So nobody on and 2 outs now. The tying run at the plate. The 2-1 at the knees, called strike 2 to put 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Top of the 5th. Anderson shakes off a sign and now comes set. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wyatt Anderson. And he sends the Hardhats back to the bats, leading 2-1, heading to the bottom of the 5th. Back in a moment, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. To the bottom of the 5th we go as we welcome you back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Hardhats hanging on to a 2-1 lead over the Casper Oilers. And trying to tack on a few more. We head to the later innings. A 5th inning stretch here at the ballpark. And take me out to the ball game. Riker Henny to lead things off for the Hardhats. Hardhats sent 8 to the plate. Henny, the only batter not to come to the plate in the 2-run 4th. First pitch to Henny, a breaking ball right above the knees, called strike 1. No balls and a strike. Nipper into the wind, kicks and deals the 0-1. Swing and a miss by Henny behind the fastball that time. No balls and 2 strikes. Nipper now into the 2-strike wind. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and it's a chopper up the first base line right by the Casper dugout. No balls and 2 strikes, the count remains. Another 0-2. Swing and a miss. Henny goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight. It's strikeout number 5 overall for Grant Nipper. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th.
The batter, number 11, hits the ball.
Nipper approaching 100 pitchers. There is a reliever warming for Casper. It's a right-hander. And Solano looks at ball 1 outside. Just lightly throwing right now, that right-hander. The 1-0. Popped up right side. It's out of play. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nipper into the wind. And the 1-1. Solano scored the one and pulled back quickly as that one missed well high. 2 balls and a strike. Solano beat out a bunt single his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Single and a bouncer to third. The 2-1, swing and a miss, now an even count. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, and nobody on. Into the line and the 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Caught the bottom outside corner. And Solano goes down looking. For out number 2. 6th strikeout for Grant Nipper, trying to match strikeout for strikeout with Wyatt Anderson. Anderson at 7, that was Nipper's 6th. Here's Dylan Marsh. Marsh lays off the first pitch, fastball high, right at the letters. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 at the knees, called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of inning number 5, 2-1 Hardhats. 2 outs, nobody on. The 1-1 called strike 2. Similar pitch that got Solano to go down looking on the bottom outside corner. The 1-2. Swung on and bounced to third. Shane Taggart up and fires, and one third baseman grounds out to the other for out number 3. We head to the 6th. 2-1 Hardhats. You're listening to Post 22 Hardhats baseball on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth, sales service and recreation. Wyatt Anderson back to the mound for the Hardhats. Hardhats leading 2-1 over the Casper Oilers and post 2. Right-handed bat of Thomas Strokes leads things off. 1, 2, and 3. Top of the Casper lineup, and Strokes looks at a first pitch ball downstairs. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. One-0, a fly ball, shallow left field, long run for Jed Jensen into a slide, and he makes the grab, out number 1. Nice play by Jed Jensen in left field. Had to roam to his left. And straight in. Went into a slide and robbed Strokes of a little bloop hit. Out number 1 in the 6th. First pitch to Grant Nipper, misses down and away, ball 1. Nipper 0 for 2, a pop out to short and a fly to right. The 1-0, right across the knees, called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anderson This is his 91st pitch. And it misses. Touch outside. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1. Inside edge called a strike 2. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and it's popped up shallow right field. Long run for Harrison Good, but it's Amarian Saylor, the second baseman. Makes the grab for out number 2. 2 outs, nobody on now. Here's Kaden Wilcox. Wilcox 0 for 2. And he looks at ball 1 outside. Robbed what would have been just a foul ball by Harrison Good as he slid up against the fence in foul territory. The 1-0 misses high, maybe inside as well. 2 balls and no strikes. And he bounced to third way back in the first inning. Just past the 9 o'clock hour local mountain time. 2-0 becomes 3 balls and no strikes as the breaking ball missed down and away. The 3-0 popped up, foul beyond the plate, out of play. Three balls and a strike now on Wilcox. Anderson said, here's the 3-1. Misses inside ball 4, a 2-out base on balls. And brings up Shane Taggart. Here comes Coach Clapperidge out of the dugout. Have a word with Anderson. No signal just yet. He's at 98 pitches. And Clapperidge just talking to Anderson and Solano. Anderson will stay in this ball game. There's no one warming in the Hardhats bullpen, so presumably the Hardhats would bring somebody on off the field. Whether that's Dylan Marsh that would come in from third and pitch, move Anderson and just do a straight swap, or move a few more people around. First pitch to Taggart is a called strike 1 right across the belt. No balls and a strike. Runner on first, 2 gone. The tying runs at first. Go ahead run at the plate. 2-1 our score, Casper and Rapid City. The 0-1 downstairs, blocked by Solano. Even count now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Anderson, a long look in, now comes set at his right ear, and a pickoff move over to first. Wilcox dives back in safely. Strong throw over to Hollick. The 1-1, a bouncer up the middle, backhand snag by Saylor, and an underhand flip the short way to second to Kiefer in time, out number 3. Casper strands another base runner. They trail 2-1. We head to the bottom of the 6th after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Well, folks, I still haven't won a pie tonight. A little bit disappointed about that. Hardhats hanging on to a 2-1 lead on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. And Hardhats will send 8-9-1 to the plate. It'll be against a new pitcher on the mound, and we'll see who that is. For Casper, it's, well, who is that? It's Justin Wicks. So Wicks moves from right field to the mound, winds, kicks, deals, and misses high for ball one. A 1-0, down and away on Jensen. 2 balls and no strikes. Wicks working very quickly. Winds, kicks, deals the 2-0. Chopper to left side. The shortstop, Wilcox, fires to first in time to get Jensen by a step for out number 1. Now Wilson Kiefer. Kiefer with the RBI triple his last time up. So he drove in a run, and then he scored the second and go-ahead run, all in that 4th inning, and all with 2 outs. Taps the plate on the right side here. 1 out, nobody on, 2-1 Hardhats, bottom of the 6th. Wicks into the wind, and Kiefer flares one right center field. Long run for the right fielder, and he makes the grab for out number 2. Believe that was Nipper in right. So 2 up, 2 gone for the Hardhats. Looking for some 2-out insurance now. Heading to the top of the 7th. Reliever warming in the bullpen for the Hardhats. I believe that is Dylan Marsh. Zake Farley swings through first pitch breaking ball to go down in the count 0-1. Wicks into the wind, and the 0-1 fouled off high off the netting. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on for the Hardhats. Farley a grand slam against Brookings. The 0-2, swing and a miss on a high breaking ball, and Farley goes down swinging for out number 3. To the top of the 7th. And Dylan Marsh coming to the mound for the Hardhats. 2-1 our score. Back in a moment for that 7th inning after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Physical therapy, athletic training, and sports science all in one place. Physio in Rapid City. Dr. Han Jensen and his team at Physio are ready to help you perform at your best. From the youth athlete to the active adult, trust the team at Physio. Physio offers the skilled, personalized approach to physical therapy and athletic training, building the best athletes in the Black Hills as the official strength and conditioning provider for Stevens, Central, and the Rapid City Rush. Learn more at bhphysio.com. Don't make a bad call the next time you need an attorney. The lawyers of Claiborne, Lowe's, and Savers have been serving the legal needs of clients throughout the state for over 75 years. Serious legal issues like divorce, business disputes, personal injury, and criminal matters require a solid team. When you need a streaming at foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, service, and recreation. My apologies, it's Harrison Good to come to the mound for the Hardhats. It looks like Jed Jensen to right field, Amarian Saylor to left field. Dylan Marsh to second base, and Wyatt Anderson to third base. So lots of defensive changes for the Hardhats as they tap their Hardhats around Harrison Good to start the top of the seventh. And be 5, 6, and 7 due up for Casper. Eric Whitley, Carmen Mclean, and Bryce Laughlin. 1 for 6. That part of the order tonight. Eric Whitley leads things off. He's 0 for 2. First pitch from Harrison Good, a fastball high and tight. Whitley ducks out of the way of it for ball 1. 2-1 our score. We're good. Kicks and deals, and fastball swung on and missed. Even count 1-1. And Jensen runs a few steps in now in right field. Saylor playing a deep left field. The 1-1. Outside, maybe a touch low. It looked pretty close at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. The count now on Whitley. Good. Kicks and deals the 2-1. Down and away back to the backstop. And now 3 balls and a strike. Harrison Good sets up on the far first base side of the rubber. And Good misses high and tight, ball 4. So leadoff walk, and the tying run put on base right away for Casper and Whitley. There's Carter McLean. 2-1 our score. Harrison Good on the mound this season. This is his 4th appearance, an 0-1 record. 3 1/3 he went. Good. Kicks and deals. A bunt attempt popped up and spins and rolls up the third base line. Safe at first is Mclean. It'll be 2 on, nobody out for Casper. Harrison Good with a strong arm, and he used every bit of that strong arm. But Mclean beat it out by a half a step. Bang, bang play at first. Tying and go-ahead runners on base, nobody out. Entire Hardhats infield brought around Coach Clapperich. Trots out to the mound. Wouldn't be surprised to see in this next at-bat the Hardhats try and sneak that pickoff move of first, where Hollick, standing behind the base runner, not holding him on, he creeps in, and then the throw to first. Hollick will play in front of the base runner, expecting bunt with nobody out. Here's Bryce Laughlin. First pitch. Popped up, sky high on the infield. Wyatt Anderson at third. Calls everyone off, a few steps in, and puts a squeeze on it. It's an infield fly, and it's out number 1. Huge out number 1. Here's the new batter, number 00 Maddox Houston. Don't see too many 00s, especially in baseball, but in any sport. Houston taps the plate on the right side, 2 on, 1 out. And Houston looks at a called strike right across the knees, 0-1. Two on, 1 out. And Good steps off and wants a word with Solano. 2-1 our score. Hardhats out hitting Casper 4-3. Very quick meeting between Good and Solano. Coach Ewing adjusting the Hardhats defense. And once again, Jed Jensen trots in a few steps in right field. The 0-1 inside. Even count 1-1. It's Eric Whitley off of second base with Carter Mclean off of first. Hulk now playing behind the base runner at first. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try and sneak in there. Pickoff move to second. He throws to third, and it's off the glove of Wyatt Anderson. Oh my goodness. Anderson just took his eye off of the throw. Harrison Good had the runner picked off of second. And it's an error on Wyatt Anderson to allow the runners up to second and third. The throw would have beat the runner. Anderson just took his eye off of it, tried to slap the tag on without the baseball, and that one popped out of the glove of the catcher, Solano. Now the runner caught in between second and third, but everyone will scramble back to their respective bags. Solano, it popped out of his glove, and he was scrambling because he couldn't find it right away. It went over by the Hardhats dugout. Taggart on 90 feet away. Go ahead run in scoring position. The 2-1 to Houston. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Houston was behind it. Now 2-2. The catcher, Ashton Armstrong, on deck. The 2-2. Fouled straight back. Infield brought in for the Hardhats. Trying to cut that runner down at the plate and try and keep this a 2-1 ball game in this situation. Outfield playing in as well. Try and prevent the sac fly. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Houston goes down swinging. A huge out, number 2. That spot in the lineup, the 8 spot, has struck out 3 times tonight. And now the catcher, Armstrong. 2 outs, 2 in scoring position, 2-1 our score. Harrison Good kicks and deals the first pitch to Armstrong high with the fastball, ball 1. Armstrong tonight has reached on a walk and struck out. The 1-0. High, ball 2. First base is open, but my guess the Hardhats would much rather face the 9 spot than the top of the order, and a contact guy like Thomas Strokes. A 2-0, line drive foul off the netting above the Casper dugout. 2 balls and a strike. Hardhats playing back now with the 2 outs. Their defense. The 2-1. Strike 2, outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, both in scoring position and 2 gone. Harrison Good shakes off a sign from Solano and shakes off another. Now nods his head and likes one. The 2-2. High. Ball 3. Just maybe a touch inside. Or a little bit high. 3-2. The payoff from Good. Down and away, ball 4. Armstrong draws the walk and bases will be loaded. It's Thomas Strokes. Strokes tonight has drawn a walk, reached on a fielder's choice, and flied to left. First pitch, a strike called right across the belt, 0-1. So he's 0 for 2. Down to the plate on the right side, base is full. 2 outs, 2-1 our score. The 0-1, foul back to the screen and out. No balls and 2 strikes. Casper down to their final strike. Pressure pitches coming for Harrison Good. Just about every single one of them has been high-intensity pressure pitches. The 2-strike pitch, out straight over the screen, right over my head. Count remains 0-2, and Stroke stays alive. Another opportunity, no balls and 2 strikes. Good is set and Strokes ask for time. Mind games being played by Strokes. Not a bad idea. Down on the count 0-2. Good once again set at the chest, the 0-2. Breaking ball misses high. Strokes ducks out of the way. A waste pitch there that Solano was able to handle behind the plate. So a ball and 2 strikes to count. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. That's out number 3. And the Hardhats are victorious in game 1 of this series, 2-1. Boy, pressure situation for Harrison Good, and he finishes off the ball game, records the save, and the Hardhats improve to 19-10 on the season. We'll take a 30-second step aside and come back for our Pioneer Bank and Trust postgame show after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome to the Pioneer Bank and Trust postgame show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support local sports, and they want to be your trusted partner for all your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. Well, pressure-filled night for the Hardhats, and a very close ball game here against Casper post 2. And the first of this 3-game set for the weekend. A 2-1 victory for the Post 22 Hardhats, and they improved to 19-10 on the season. Post 2 falls back to 500. They're 10-10 on the season now with that loss. Quick recap, and a very quick recap of the box scored in this one. The Casper struck first in the top of the 4th inning, but it was a double for Shane Taggart in that 4th inning, and then 2 straight wild pitches for Wyatt Anderson. And for Wyatt, it wasn't the night that he would have hoped for. He still battled. He still consistently was able to put up competitive pitches on the mound, but it's not something that we've seen a lot from in Wyatt Anderson, missing the strike zone quite a bit. And he's one that dials it in and dials in the strike zone. Pretty accurate pitcher, but Wyatt Anderson a little bit more of a struggle here tonight against Casper. And those 2 wild pitches ended up bringing in the first run of the contest. Then in the bottom of the 4th inning, guess what? The Hardhats struck back immediately. 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. It was A single for Jake Solano to lead off that inning. Dylan Marsh beat out a double play ball, so he reached on a fielder's choice, stole second base without a throw. And then a fly out by Jed Jensen. So 2 outs and a runner at second base. Wilson Kiefer then comes to the plate and hits one over the head of the right fielder. And 2 bounces the wall. Ends up at third base with an RBI triple to tie the game at 1 apiece. Zeke Farley then drew a walk. Amarian Saylor drew a walk. Hayden Hollick, with the bases loaded, drew a walk. And that was the go-ahead run of this ball game. The Hardhats took the lead 2-1. That's how the ball game finished. No runs in each of the last 3 innings for either side. And the Hardhats victorious 2-1. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for Casper. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Post 22. And the Hardhats are victorious and pick up their 19th win of the season. Today's player of the game is sponsored by Claiborne, Los, and Sabres. Whether it's divorce, injury, or a business dispute, when you need someone to step up for you, the law office at Claiborne, Los, and Sabres is always ready. Just Google Claiborne, Los, and Sabres in Rapid City. And we'll give it to Wilson Kiefer tonight. That RBI triple to tie the ball game ended up scoring the winning run in that 4th inning. Although it was a bases-loaded walk, it's still the winning run. But that RBI triple really kind of gave the Hardhats a little bit of a momentum and kind of threw off the mojo and the timing of Grant Nipper on the mound for Casper. And Wilson Kiefer is and today's Claiborne, Los, and Sabres player of the game. Folks, these 2 teams play a doubleheader tomorrow, a morning-afternoon doubleheader. Game 1, first pitch at 11 a.m. local Mountain Time. So until then, my name is Adam Birch. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.